Welcome to episode 23 of DomsPod. I'm your host, ADIMANDO, alongside my long and father, Paul Adimando here.
Hello.
Yeah, I missed last week because I wanted to get a little bit more information in. We have a lot to talk about in this episode.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of sports action, playoffs.
We got playoffs, we got the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of things to talk about. So without further ado, let's get into the Ryder Cup. Now, this was something I thought was, I'm not going to curse, BS. BS. Victor Hovland. Like, obviously, the Europeans obviously won this. And obviously, it was a great experience going to it, even though we barely got to see anything there. Right, Dad?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, when it's a long weekend with the Ryder Cup, but I think that let's preface this by saying that Victor Hovland withdrew from the singles match because he had a sore neck, and he had an MRI in the morning. He said he couldn't get up and move his neck, and he withdrew from the tournament. But the rules of the Ryder Cup are that if a player withdraws, they put it's called an envelope rule. So they put a name before the Ryder Cup starts into the envelope, that if someone were to withdraw, they would take out that other person on the other team and they would do a half point for the match. Now, because Europe was up so much in the matches, the half point meant a lot. And if, Victor withdrew and he forfeited the match and the U.S. got the full point, it would have definitely made the Ryder Cup a lot closer. So with Victor withdrawing and they automatically get a half a point, it's kind of a little bit BS. Now, if you look at other sports, what would happen in the NHL if a guy had a sore neck and they were in the Stanley Cup Finals?
They would play through it. They would play through it.
They probably play through it, right?
Exactly.
Do
you think they're going to change that rule after this?
Yeah, I think that it opens a conversation. There were, I think, 2 or 3 other instances where it was
1993 and 2010.
Yeah, so they said there's a foot injury by Sam Torrance, and Lanny Watkins was an envelope player for the U.S. and Celtic Manor, right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
I'm
sure. Yeah, but I just feel like that's weird though. Like why did they give like a half a point to that? Like,
and not a forfeit.
Do you think they're gonna? I think they're gonna change the rule after that.
I definitely think so, and I definitely think if you look at other sports, they wouldn't let this happen. So like football and hockey.
What would you compare this to? My question is though, like in other sports, like what would you compare like forfeiting like a half a point?
And getting a half a point.
It's like I feel like in baseball, it's like getting credit for like a tie or something like that.
Yeah, I mean it's like taking we can't bring our relief pitcher in because he has a sore arm. So
that actually is a thing in baseball. Do you not know that?
No.
So you can. So this happened with the Mets last year with Reed Garrett, and I believe a couple other teams. Some teams put a fake injury on their IL so they could call up another pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, but they still have to bring up another pitcher and pitch in the game
because they don't want to DFA the guy or cut him.
What about having an alternate on the Ryder Cup? So instead of having 12 guys, having 13 guys.
They should carry 14 guys, I think, on the roster.
And have 2 alternates just in case something like this happens.
Exactly. But my question, who's the captain for Europe?
It was Luke Donald.
Are these guys do these guys actually play the game?
Yeah, I mean, Luke Donald was a really good player. He's played on multiple Ryder Cups.
Are they both retired?
I mean, no, Luke Donald still plays in PGA tournaments. Now, I mean, I don't think he's exempt from any majors, or maybe he does play in the British Open because he won the British Open. You get an exemption for a number of years, so they still do play in it. The other question was Keegan Bradley. He was the captain and he qualified with points to play. Should he have played and not bowed out as captain?
Exactly. But obviously, the U.S., do you think they're going to be able to recover from this, Dad?
Yeah, I mean, I think they will. I mean, I don't think they lost because they played bad. I think they
played their heart. I think, do you want me to be honest with you? I think they played probably the best golf they could have played. It was just like Tommy Fleetwood and like Justin Rose, like hitting like the most clutch putts you ever see after like the U.S. like birdies a hole or two.
Yeah, I mean, Europe definitely played better, and there's also a question on how the course was set up. Was the course set up too easy? There was a lot of birdies out there.
Did you shot one under par that course?
Yeah, years ago, but it's a very difficult golf course, and I feel like when even like the day that we played, the rough was higher than the rough that these guys played in the Open, in the Ryder Cup. So I think that maybe if they set the course up harder, would that have favored the U.S.? You don't know, but I mean, I think um, it was Scotty Scheffler and
He didn't play good in the first half of the.
I mean, but it was Scheffler and DeChambeau, and they lost on 16, but they were supposedly 11 under par for their match. I mean, imagine, I mean, they had,
And DeChambeau had a crazy comeback. You think about it.
yeah, I mean, he was down 5, right, and he came back to have the match, which looked like a big half, right?
Who? How did Colin what's his name?
Morikawa,
Marcella. Didn't he? Did he win his? Did he win his? Who did he play?
he played in the singles. You mean?
Yeah,
He had. It looks like he was.
I feel like he didn't play that good.
Yeah, I mean, the Hovland versus Morikawa singles match was not played. Hovland withdrew, and the rules match was halved by default. Yeah, so Morikawa didn't even play the singles match because he was playing Hovland, and then that was
Oh,
yeah.
he just played by himself.
No, he didn't play.
Oh,
Um, yeah, so Europe had the 15-13 victory, and they only needed 14 points to retain the cup. So that half point, if it was full for the United States, it could have been 14 and a half. It was 13 and a half, right? If they forfeited it, and if they were able to pick up another one match, it could have swayed the cup. So, but I mean, they shouldn't have been in that position, and they lost it. Typically, we always lose the first round of the
USA has won since 2016.
well, I mean, we lose always the first
The first,
round, of the alternate shot.
yeah.
We never, USA never
Europe's
does
team
well
was
there.
real. You have to admit, Europe's team was stacked.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think it's stacked. I think that they were a team, right? You win as a team. It seemed like they did stuff the weeks prior, playing as a team together. They were out east. They were playing all the courses like Sabonic and I think Friars
Did they play
had.
the men? Did any of them play the men's club?
No, I mean they played in the past, but I don't think that.
Paul Gasol played there today.
Yeah, today he played there, but
Awesome. I didn't really talk to him. That guy's tall,
Yeah.
man.
he probably is special made clubs, huh?
Oh yeah. All right, I think it's time to switch gears, right?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go on to the next topic.
So obviously we had the wild card round today. It's the first day. It's the first game. So we'll go through the matchups really, and then we'll go through how the games went today really. So the Guardians Tigers game, the Tigers won 2-1. A team that the Tigers I thought that were up, that had such a big lead. They had like a 15 and a half game lead going into like 20 days left in the regular season, and they blew the division to the Mariners. That was like, I think that might have been a worse. Obviously, it's not going to be a worse choke than the Mets, but it's still not a good way to look at it.
Yeah, but I mean they got in, right, and I guess the name of the game is getting into the playoffs.
Obviously, their guy Tarek Screwball pitched really good today, only giving up 1 run, and the Tigers won 2-1 that game. Now, this is a fun fact stat that I found out the other day, and actually figured out myself. There has never been a team that has lost game 1 in the wild card series, Dad.
Mhm.
Has never won the series.
Really?
So every team that's won game 1 so far has won the series. In the wild card, it's a huge advantage.
Because it's best out of
3. Do you like best out of 3 games like that? What do you think?
No, I mean I think it's kind of. I mean, I know that they draw out the season and it's a long season, but if you're playing, 160, 4 games, 162 games a year,
Yeah.
and you get to playoffs and you have, you know,
I feel like
and the pitching
I feel
rotation, it's hard because the end of the season too, you're trying to get into the wild card. More likely, you're throwing your best pitches, right? So they're not usually available to pitch in the first round. But I don't know how the pitchers stacked up.
I feel like Dad. I feel like they should cut spring. You want me to be honest with you? I think they should cut spring training like a week shorter, and you start the regular season earlier, and then you have the wild card series a best out of 5.
Yeah, you could do that.
But then the problem is though, like teams like Milwaukee though, Philly, teams getting buys are gonna have advantages though because they can get days off and like rest before their playoff series though.
Yeah, but I mean, but they should though, right?
They deserve it.
I mean, they deserve to have the rest. Sometimes rest is not always good, right?
Like
So
we
there's
talked
always
like a couple of years ago. I'm sorry for cutting you off. Like remember the Islanders a couple of years ago? I mean, I don't mean to go into hockey here.
hockey's kind of different than baseball, right? So
Yeah, true.
baseball, if you're resting your pitchers and you could still pitch on your days off and throw and strengthen your arm and work on things. In stuff like hockey, though, there's always like if you're playing together and you're meshing really well, it's kind of tough to be apart,
Yeah,
right? So the some of the coaches don't like to rest the players because they're playing good. Even in football, the football though is it's more about you know um, avoiding injury than it is anything. But like,
yeah. They tried so hard to avoid injuries nowadays, and I feel like, do you think they should get rid of ties in the NFL?
yeah, I mean,
Like, who wants a game to end in a
well, then
tie?
how do you end up
You do the college overtime rules, I think.
and just go?
Did you remember when you watched the Florida State
Hmm.
Virginia game? I think they should just do that. To be honest with you, it saves your energy, and you only have to go 20 yards back and forth.
Yeah, but I think it's unfair. I think the way that they did in college, they alternated, but then they alternated again. So
Yeah,
like
so
whoever saw
Florida State's offense stayed out for like example. I don't know if
you have
that's
two. I don't. I think that each team should get a rest and they should do a coin flip for it.
over and over again.
Well, no, I mean I think that they they should coin flip first and then just go back and forth, back and forth. It's not fair to go offense and offense to stay out there and then defense and defense to stay out there, right? Especially if you, I mean, or that's probably the strategy, right? So
Yeah,
I mean that could be the strategy for like even like the NHL, right? The 3-on-3. What they do is they try to keep the players on the ice, right?
did you see? I
To
like
wear
the
them out, right? So maybe that could be a strategy to wear out some of the guys. Run pound pound, keep the defense out as long as they can. They're tired at the end of the game, and then when you get the ball, get the possession again, you run them down.
All right, so the Tigers obviously took. We'll go back to this. The Tigers obviously took that series, so they're going to be. Oh no, not took the series. They're up 2-1. They're
And how
up
did
1-0 in the series.
that Tigers pitcher? He was a
Terrence
very
Screwball
yeah. What did he do? Did he pitch the first game or no?
pitched the first game. Yeah,
And did they then they won?
they. I think he pitched 6.5 innings, six or 7 innings. I don't mean to say it like that. Um, so the Tigers are up 1-0 in the series. The Guardians have to win tomorrow, and we'll see what happens then. All right, so then let's go to a game that you actually watched, I believe, the Yankees Red Sox game. I mean, the Yankees they have one of the best home field advantages in the playoffs, and that's coming from a Met fan.
Yeah, no. I mean, this game definitely came down to pitching. They both pitchers really pitched
I don't know why they
a good
took
game.
Fried out so
Yeah,
early.
I there was no men on. It wasn't like he was pitching bad. He did have a high pitch count.
What was his pitch count?
It was in the upper 90s. Let me just pull it up here. I think he was
Weaver didn't help at all, man.
no, he
He
came in and really he didn't help the
he
team out.
blew it.
But then at the same point though, the Yankees had bases loaded with no men out, and they couldn't get like a sack fly or get
Yeah,
anyone in. I
in
mean,
the
like
top
that.
of the in the bottom of the ninth.
They had two strikeouts
Chapman,
and
Chapman, their former.
and he had a short outfield hit where they couldn't send home
What's his name?
Goldschmidt.
Goldschmidt's really slow. Goldschmidt's really slow though. That's the problem.
Yeah, but maybe they should have pitched ran for him. right?
But then you can't bat him for the rest of the game though.
Yeah, but
You put Ben Rice in.
but
for them?
I think is it more? Well, I mean, he's at the top of the order, right? And yeah, you can't ban him for the rest of the game. But if you
What
have,
inning
if
was this that
it
happened?
was the ninth inning, so like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you're trying to at least tie. I mean, your goal is to tie or win the game,
I
right?
think you should
So I
have
mean,
been.
you play for you have 3 men on with no men out. You're playing for the win, right?
You, yeah.
I mean, and
But
you get 1 run against Chapman, and that it makes it nervous and this and that.
I'm gonna say about Chapman is he's a great pitch. He had an unbelievable year this year. He had like less. He was like one of the best closers in baseball. Recovered, former Yankee by the way too. He went. It was weird how he went. He was a Yankee, and then the final year of Jeter's career, he got traded to Chicago, and then came back to the Yankees, and then spent like the next couple of years. But really, how he was able to retire Grisham, Chisholm, and Stanton in ninth inning was pretty incredible to me. And when you had the bases loaded with nobody out, and you're in a huge playoff game that could decide the series, that was huge for the Red
Yeah,
Sox,
I mean,
and it could push them going into Game 2 tomorrow.
and the Yankees used 6 pitchers today. Boston only used 2. Uh,
Crochet,
Crochet, he had 100. He had 117 pitches,
which is
right?
insane.
Versus Fried had 102, right?
Did they pull Fried out of the middle of the inning?
He had 6.1 innings pitched.
Yeah,
Gave up 4 hits.
You can't do that. I feel like you should have pushed him to get out of the inning, right?
Yeah, I think so. And then now you bring Chapman in. He pitched an inning. He pitched 4. He pitched total of 4 outs, and now Boston still has their whole bullpen for tomorrow, which is a big. It's a big advantage, right?
Garrett Crochet, I told you, the Mets offered them a trade, and the White Sox, by the way, denied it. And now the Red Sox, who, by the way, gave up, I think they stole this trade. The prospects they gave up for that trade weren't as good as you imagine. But as I'm looking at this, the Red Sox really got their pitcher of the future, I think, in Garrett Crochet. And they gave him a huge contract, which works out perfectly.
The Yankees at home this year were 50-31, right? The Red Sox away were 41-40. So they had a 500. When they had just
Exactly
over
500.
500, they 1 game over 500. Winning away.
Boston is a huge advantage for the Red Sox.
But they play all 3 games at Yankee Stadium, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, the Yankees should have the advantage here, but they lose the first game, and now it's
all in Boston's favor.
Yeah,
right now.
And if Boston wins the next game, the series is over.
Like, that's what I feel like about baseball. Like, you played 162 games, you get in the wild card, 2 games, you're done like that.
Did they used to do 5 games or no?
It used to be one single game.
One single game, which I think that was.
Remember, it was the Yankees Red Sox, and then they sent, I believe, Judge home in like the top of the 4th when it was clearly not, and then he got thrown out by a mile.
Yeah,
and they lost 6-2 in that one.
Well, they didn't send Goldschmidt on the sac fly because of his speed, right? So he maybe could have got a run, and they maybe could have got the runner over to third. Would that have changed anything? No, because
who's in right field for them?
Grisham struck out. Abreu.
You don't want to test his arm.
No, he has a good arm. It was the announcer said that him and the center fielder for Boston both had good arms. The fielder on left field didn't, but if the balls hit the left field, though, he's gonna have He's gonna have a hard time scoring anyway.
I think that was Raphael.
I'm not sure, but I mean, you don't want to. You send him home, he gets out. It's a bad coaching decision. But they had two strikeouts. One was clearly looking, and and then the other one was Grisham just swung and he fouled it into the catcher's mitt to end the game. So
that was fouled into his mitt.
Yeah, I think so. I thought it was fouled.
No, I thought he missed it completely.
I think he fouled it, but maybe not.
All right, so then let's get into the Cubs-Padres game. This is a game I really didn't pay much attention to. The Cubs won 3-1. They're up 1-0 in the series right now.
Which also, too, they say traveling out west because San Diego is home, right? or
San
no, or
Diego's
Cubs
got
were
a
home. Cubs were home.
Cubs are home. Yeah.
Cubs are home. So yeah, so that didn't matter. But yeah,
Some
yeah,
of these players are playing through a heart right now in Chicago because of Charlie Kirk. Because I don't mean to bring in like politics or anything like that. Most of those guys actually like know him like personal. Like, did you hear about the guy in Shaw for them that missed like a game or two to go out to his funeral?
yeah. The Cubs, they're making their first postseason appearance since 2020,
Yeah,
and Padres, they had a good offseason, right? They built a postseason team, right? They were in the postseason last year. They have a good team. They didn't go deep, but
that's the problem with the Padres. They actually like they're a team that plays like the worst scenario teams. Like last year, like they lost to the Dodgers in Game 5, which could have changed that entire script. Then they had a really disappointing year where they barely finished above 500 when their payroll was up top to the roof with like 300, and they had Soto on that team actually.
yeah. I mean, and two, like both of their bullpens are weak, so like managing
The
the late games.
Padres bullpen's really like when you go into the eighth and ninth inning, they have two really good pitchers that can throw like 100 that you cannot touch, which Suarez and Mason Miller.
Yeah, so
Mason Miller is. I don't know why the A's traded him. To be honest with you, that he should be their future out of it. That
who's favored in hitting on that? Does the Cubs or Padres have a better team with hitting?
I think the Padres have a better team with hitting with Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado. Um, who else? I'm blanking right now. Xander Bogaerts. I don't even know if he's playing right now. There's a bunch of guys I see. They got who's the first baseman? Cronenworth. They got Cronenworth. I'm trying to name players off the top of my head right now. It
I'm
just
trying to look up. It's not. It's not. Internet's not really working too well up here, but
it never works up here.
yeah, I can see that. So, all right, you want to move on to football?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so both Dom and I are in. We're both alive in. We have 4 picks still left in various knockout pools.
4 picks?
Yeah, we have 2 in the batting cage, and we have 1 at Plandom and 1 at Garden City. So we have 4 total picks. The one pool at Garden City is it's not a survivor pool where you pick one team and son. You could pick the same team over and over again.
I feel like that ruins the purpose of the thing.
It does, but the last I think couple weeks you have to pick 2 teams. So as you get deep, you have to make 2 picks and then I think 3 picks. So it does get hard, but we basically pick Buffalo Bills every week.
I picked the Bears last week.
You picked the Bears last week,
and guess what happened? They blocked the field goal to win it.
I know. So
we'll get through the week 5. A team that I actually just want to talk about this real quick, the New York Jets. Like I don't know if you watched the game at all yesterday or anything like that. They had 13 penalties for 101 yards. And they outplayed the Dolphins. They outplayed them. And the fact that they're not even going to be able to, they got blown up that bad, and Aaron Glenn was screaming at the locker room. That shows you how dumb the Jets are.
Yeah, but he's not emotional on the.
Dodgers up 8-0.
Yeah, Dodgers are up 8-0 now.
That shows you the Mets should have made it, Dad. That really shows you.
Yeah, he's Glenn's not emotional. That's my biggest thing on him.
You see him on the side. He's just like
he just stands there with. I don't understand how that serves a purpose. He doesn't. How do you get in fire in these guys and this and that?
What would your reaction be on the side?
Well, I mean,
would you be screaming?
What did they have 2? They had 2 or 3 turnovers that game.
They had 3 fumbles.
3 fumbles. Right?
You got to hold on to the football.
3 fumbles and how many penalties?
13 penalties for 101 yards.
Yeah, so I mean that ruins it.
They beat themselves.
Yeah. You can't play football like that. You can't have penalties. And
they outplayed them. I hope you know. The Jets are a team that can be good. They just gotta be smarter, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, and now
They fair catched it at the 2-yard line. Like, what are we doing? What are they doing?
you're better off letting the ball go.
I would just wave it off
Yeah,
and just let it bounce, and you're better off doing that. I don't know why they're fair catching that. The Giants got a nice win.
yeah,
Dart looks good.
yeah. Giants had a good win.
Dayball's kissing
Saved,
him.
yeah,
Dayball's
yeah.
kissing.
They had
He just
the
saved
memes
his-
kissing.
just
Yeah, he saved his job. But I think everyone knew that Dart was a good quarterback. The question is, is he? He has to gain more experience, right?
Well, they
And
play the Saints this week
they play the Saints this week, and
in New Orleans, though.
how many rushing yards did he have?
50. Yeah, he didn't have the.
He had a lot, and
The offensive line looked awful last week. They allowed 5 sacks. Malik Neighbors, scary injury. He's out for the year. That's not going to help the. I mean, Jalen Hyatt's going to step up now. Remember we met in Tampa Bay where we met the godfathers of them.
Yeah,
He's their wide receiver 3 right now on their depth chart. Jesus, is the Wi-Fi not working?
yeah, it's not working at all. I'm trying to get the stats. But yeah, I mean, Giants look good, right? If they now
they're favored by 2.5 in this game.
Yeah, which
I feel like that's a really low for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Giants have a good chance of winning the game, right?
They're not home, by the way. This thing that
it's printed out wrong, but yeah, so the Giants play the Saints. I mean, yeah, you automatically lose 3 points when you're the road team on the spread. So Giants are really favored by 1.5, but because they're on the road, they get -3. So it's a -2.5.
By the way, the Saints, I have to say, they're gonna easily get the first overall. I think either them or the Titans are gonna be getting the first overall pick.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Jets are right there too.
No.
Well, I mean,
they play the Cowboys. Listen,
yeah,
going into this week, we're gonna go. Are we going to that game?
Yeah, I think we're gonna go to it, but the Cowboys should win that game.
You don't. All right, look at this stat I found out. The Cowboys have the #1 offense right now in the league. Here, you could connect to your personal hotspot if you want.
Yeah, that's all right. The
Cowboys have the #1 offense, but they have the worst defense in the NFL. That just tells you how brutal that is. That's just brutal how Jerry Jones handles that.
Which team has the most turnovers? I mean, not has forced the most turnovers.
Like defensively?
Yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head.
It's Jacksonville has 13 turnovers this
Are you
year.
serious?
Yeah.
Where did that say?
That was said on the radio today.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, that's a big. You get.
You don't want to know. You want to know who has the most interceptions in the league and who's getting overpaid a tremendous amount?
Yeah.
Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Do you want me to show? Do you want me to pull up his stats right now?
Yeah,
I'll
go ahead.
pull up his stats right now. I don't have them written down though.
Yeah,
you just can't.
You can't have turnovers, right? And that kills the team.
And right now, I don't think the fact that he got paid 3 years, I think it's 3 years or two, $80 million to have 7 turnovers in 4 games is crazy to me. How his agent has to be a genius. Like, are we talking like a Bobby Bonilla? Yeah.
Well, I mean, he did have a good last 2 years, arguably, right? So I mean, it wasn't like he was playing poor, and he was giving. He did get to the playoffs, right? Last year?
No.
The year before he did.
No.
He didn't get the last 2 years. He didn't get to the playoffs.
1 year, and they got smoked. Do you want to hear his stats?
Yeah, go ahead.
948 passing yards, which is 8th in the league. 6 touchdowns, which is tied for 14th. 7 interceptions. That is awful. And his QBR is 43.2. That's 25th in the. Are we talking about a guy that they should bench?
Yeah. Who's the backup?
Aiden O'Connell. He started a couple games with them. I'd rather have him over Geno right now. I mean, would you rather have a guy that turns over the ball every possession?
Yeah, I mean, I feel
he had 3 turnovers that really cost the Raiders. And who do they play this week? I think they have a bye. No, they don't have a bye. No, they play the Colts this week. Do you think they win that game?
No, I don't. I think the
I,
Colts.
I think the Colts. I think the Colts are going to lose this game.
No, well, I mean that. Well, that's the question. Who do we pick in the knockout pool this week? You have the Colts, Raiders, or Indianapolis is 6.5 point favorite. You have the Cardinals, Titans, Arizona's a 7.5
Yeah, the sheets
point favorite. I know. We have Chargers, Commanders, but that's only LA's just coming off.
Are you
going to
take the Vikings? Are you going to take the Vikings in
I,
London?
I was actually thinking the Lions over the Bengals, but we picked the Lions in one of the pools last week, so I think we might have to go the Cardinals. Or
do you want to go the Chiefs on Monday night in Jacksonville? How are the Bills favored by 10.5 at home?
That is
absurd.
I feel like
absurd to me.
Jacksonville's 3-1, right? They have a good quarterback and they have a good running back. I don't know what the defense has the most turnovers, right?
I think they're the most underrated team.
They could be. I mean, the Chiefs haven't looked like such a powerhouse either, right?
They destroy. I think the Ravens are frauds, man. I thought the Ravens were going to be so good this year.
Well, I also think that
their defense is just a burnt cheese at this point. It looks awful.
The Ravens, why can't I think of the quarterback's name? But
Lamar.
I think he's going to be out next game. They were saying
Lamar, yeah, hamstring.
Yeah. And who's the backup?
I think it's Josh Johnson.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna have.
The guy's 41, Dad.
Yeah, but Flacco's how old?
He's done.
He's done.
He's benched.
Oh, he's benched, but
Dylan Gabriel starting.
But he started the first.
Shador is still not playing, my friend.
Yeah.
They
might end up.
They're going to start him by week 8. I bet. I bet you Dylan Gabriel's not going to last 5 games. He's not that good, Dad.
Yeah, so they're playing. So they're playing in London on Sunday morning.
Are you going to watch that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to wake up at 9:30. Do you like the London games?
Yeah, I think it starts the day out nice. It's nice watching a game in the morning when you're having breakfast, right?
But I feel like it's kind of annoying. But like, you can't have a game in Ireland after what happened over the last week with Skylar Thompson, right? After getting jumped like that.
Yeah, I mean it's an isolated.
And getting robbed,
but that could happen here too, right? I mean, Ireland.
That doesn't. You don't just go up to a person on the street and just be like, "Give me your effing."
Well, I mean, they should have security, and these guys shouldn't be.
He shouldn't be walking. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I mean, that could happen anywhere, right?
I have to say, a lot of games this week, not bad.
Yeah, I think. I feel like
we take the Panthers versus the Dolphins.
No, I wouldn't do that. Miami's favored in that game, and I know Panthers are home, and
it says the Panthers are favored by 1.5 in this game right here.
Oh, really? No, the Dolphins are. Oh, it does say that. Yeah.
Remember my hot? Oh no, you didn't hear my hot take. I said the Dolphins were going to be finished last in the division.
I mean,
looking good right now. I can tell you that.
They might.
If you guys, by the way, real quick, if you guys are looking to get DomsPod merch, that merch will be dropping out soon, I believe, by August. Oh no, not August. Probably like October 15th.
Maybe November when by the time you order it. So.
All right. Oh, this is a good game we could pick. Cardinals Titans.
Yeah.
That's a really good game because you got the Cardinals offense that almost beat Seattle versus a Titans team that had this many points last week.
0.
The only team to get shut out this.
Yeah,
by the way, their quarterback Cam Ward is not the problem. It's not the problem. His team around him, Dad, is so bad. Like, they have the only good receiver, Calvin Ridley, is having probably the worst year of his career. They don't have any other wide receiver that's been decent. Their defense looks garbage. Their edge rusher. Their secondary is really good. Their edge rushers, I can't name one edge rusher on their team. Their offensive line is just terrible. And Cam Ward's just stuck in a situation like Caleb Williams last year. Like, remember how much he had to scramble running around he looked like Patrick Mahomes because of how bad his offensive line was.
Yeah.
And when you you need a good offensive line to win championships. That's number one on my list. I have to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean the offensive line's probably the most important part of the team. It's either defense or offensive line, right? If your defense
you can't have defense. You can't have an offensive line that takes nonstop penalties like the Jets.
Yeah.
A team that I'm just like the Bengals, man. Like since Joe Burrow went down, I thought Jake Browning was gonna be the dog that came in. He's looked awful.
Yeah.
They didn't listen to this. Their first drive after kicking the field, they didn't even touch the other 50 of the Broncos side of the field. On the other side of the field in Broncos territory.
They
didn't get in there once after the field goal. That just tells you that they need to move on. I think they're going to trade for Russell Wilson. I think they're going to trade for him and then just chuck up the ball to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, when Burrow gets hurt like that, right?
That just sold their entire season away.
Yeah. To me, I mean,
and when you have an offensive line that can't block crap, you can't you're screwed.
Or maybe they get Shador Sanders. They play him and then
you heard that rumor?
No, I don't. I mean, maybe. I mean,
do you really want that guy on the football team?
No, but you have no choice though, right? And you could get him for cheap, right? Because he hasn't really played yet, and if you think he's going to be good, right, you could develop him.
I'd rather take Russell Wilson though. Yeah. I'd rather take a guy that's have more experience.
What that throws up balls at the end of the game and loses the game for you?
You guys people are acting like he was dog shit.
Well, he should have won the Cowboys game. He
had the best possible. He looked like Seattle.
Yeah,
Wilson.
but he made the mistake at the end by throwing up. He cost him the game.
But my question: do you go Jameis Winston off the Giants? He's their third stringer right now.
Well, you get
you have no backup quarterbacks for Dar. You bring in. I think they should have kept Tommy DeVito.
Get Tommy DeVito. Yeah,
he's with New England now.
Yeah. All right, let's end up with the Boston Yankees. Who do you predict is going to win tomorrow?
I think the Yankees are going to stay alive.
Yeah, Rodon's pitching against Bello.
Bello's not been great versus the Yankees, obviously. I don't know about his record versus them, if that says it on the app over there.
Let's see here. We have the used to do if you did the let's see, what does Bello have this year?
Another thing I want to talk about the Islanders real quick.
Go ahead.
While you're looking at them, do you think they have a great future?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're in the process of rebuilding.
Do you think they should tank this year and go for McKenna, the guy from Penn State? The guy's sick.
I never think that you should tank a season to get a draft pick because you always
look at the Sharks and Blackhawks the last 2 years. Though.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, listen, we won the lottery this year, right? We got Schaefer
3.5%.
Yeah, I mean, and that turned out okay. Listen, you'd be happy if they get into the playoffs this year.
Can they just get out of the first? The only thing I want the Islanders to do this year, if they make the playoffs, get out of the first round. I think that's what every Islander fan, and you don't want to play Carolina. But this is another question, though. Do you want to have Schaefer start this year? Do you think he's ready to play in the NHL based off of his?
I mean, he looks like he is.
Did you see his back checks?
He's faster than most people. I mean, the only thing is,
do you agree with trading away Noah Dobson though?
Yeah, I mean they trade Noah Dobson to Montreal, right?
And now they're already having problems with him right now over there.
Why?
You hear that?
Yeah.
It's about his skating. His skating effort's not been looking great, and they're paying the guy 8 years, $8.5 million. I mean, the NHL contracts are just absurdly low. Like you see Kirill Kaprizov's deal today, 8 years, $13.8 million. That's the highest contract in NHL history. Can't imagine what McDavid's gonna get. I'm gonna guess. What do you think his contract would be?
Well, I mean, they're moving up the cap by what, $8 million
over the next 3 years. It's probably gonna go up by 10.
Yeah, and
now you're gonna have 3 million guys make $6 million.
Yeah, now. But I mean, the guy like McDavid though, if he would get a bigger contract if he probably wasn't in Edmonton. So if he was in New York, if he was in New York, he would get a much bigger contract than Edmonton.
Edmonton's one of the worst areas, I have to say, to
Well,
play. Like,
it's
it's a great hockey town,
yeah,
but it's not like would that be like your number one spot to play NHL hockey?
yeah, but there's something about playing for like teams like Toronto, Montreal, Edmonton,
Well, Toronto and Montreal are
right?
just like, that's their culture.
Right.
You don't understand. Like,
But
that's
Edmonton,
the only sport they really have. Well, Toronto has the Blue Jays. They have do they have the Raptors. But Montreal, they lost the Expos.
they did lose the Expos, right?
They became the Washington Nationals.
Yeah.
I mean, but like, do you think Montreal should get another team? Do you think they should expand the NFL to Canada? My question is, who do you think it's just America's sport?
Well, I mean, it's not America. I mean, I think that the National Football League, they're trying
the Canadian
Football League too, but like I mean, these places are hockey towns, right? And I think that guys like Draisaitl re-signed at Edmonton, right?
Oh yeah, big time.
But thinking that maybe, and he's pretty close with McDavid, and their wives are friends and stuff like that. I mean, and they got
him walk out with Morgan Wallen the other night.
Yeah, but they got to the Stanley Cup Finals twice in the last 2 years, right?
And they've just.
You think you want to win a cup with Edmonton before he leaves?
Absolutely. But I'm gonna say this now. McDavid is gonna get a humongous. He's gonna get 10 years, $300 million.
Yeah, he's worth
with the cap going up.
He's worth it. He's the best player in the league.
But my question is, are you gonna build around it? Think about Edmonton the next 2 years. They're gonna pay Darnell Nurse, who's not even that productive anymore. I feel like you have to trade his contract away. Leon Draisaitl, who's been one of the best hockey players probably in the NHL right now. Probably top five.
I mean, I think that they need a goaltender, right?
The goaltending. I think Stuart Skinner's a good backup.
Yeah,
backup. He's not worthy of a starter.
I mean, if they had a good goaltender on the team, I think they would be a lot. Did you
hear about Carter Hart?
No.
Like the Canadian hockey team that got. Remember we were talking about this a couple of years, a while back, with like the assault thing with the woman.
Yeah.
They all completed non-guilty.
Yeah.
So starting tomorrow,
he's back.
They're all allowed to sign wherever they want to go.
Mm-hmm.
So Carter Hart, I'm hearing maybe going to Edmonton. I'm hearing a lot of rumors about that. But let's get back to the Islanders, because really that's what we're huge Islander fans.
Yep.
The guy Luke, I have to say, I like the guy Keyshawn Aitchison, who's a huge hitter. He'll be up there in like 2 or 3 years. Victor Utland, who is a steal, he's projected to go 8th in the first round, and you got him at 16, which worked out perfect. Obviously, you wish you got Higgins, right? Luca Romano, who I think is a really good third liner, second liner, and a really good shootout guy, because the Islanders really do need that, Dad.
Yeah, they always seem to lose the shootouts. The Islanders.
Remember that shootout versus Columbus? I'll never see you as mad over an Islander game. You looked like you were gonna punch a wall.
Yeah,
because Duclair he skates up the puck and just loses control.
I mean, I don't think Duclair had a really good season this year. Let's just face it.
He looks good right now.
Yeah, well, now he looks good, but at the end of the year, he kind of looked like he wasn't even trying, right? And he
got benched. He got
benched, and I don't know what they spoke about during the off season and stuff like that, and if he's trying more now, but he clearly wasn't. We were really excited to get him at the beginning of the year, and that
was their only signing.
Yeah, I really felt that he wasn't all that productive last year. I mean, I don't know if it was because Barzal was out a lot and he relies on him.
Do you think he'll have a bounce back here?
Yeah, I mean,
he needs to have 91 points this year.
Yeah, I mean,
if the Islanders are going to be worthy of a success, listen, their draft was really good. They just need, if they want to have if Darch has done a great job, if they want to have if he wants to stay a franchise GM, in a good example, signing Jonathan Drouin was a great signing. If this team can over succeed expectations, like be like sort of like with the Panthers, they don't have Barkov obviously and Kachuk. If they get like second place in their division, third place, do you take this as a success, or do you take it as like a like oh you expected that to happen, or do you think they're going to be like a wild card
No,
team?
I mean, I think that I don't. I mean, I think that the Islanders are always going to be a playoff contender going forward if they keep playing like this. They have solid goaltending. I think they're a little short on their defense,
Their
and
goaltending's a problem right
if
now.
they could
With
score,
Varlamov out,
yeah,
with Rinnick, the guy Rinnick,
hmm
I watched his preseason. He looks bad. He looks terrible.
yeah. But Sorokin should be able to play 50 or 60 games during the season, right?
Varlamov's going to be back probably midway through, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, and you could, and he can easily take the load, Sorokin. He's a young guy; he can handle it. Anders Lee's out for a couple weeks, right? With the
He'll be
shoulder.
ready to go. They
Yeah.
said he might be ready. It's questionable he'll be ready to go opening night, but another guy who I really like, Maxim Shabanov,
Yep.
the guy they got from Russia.
Mhm.
Did you see his highlights with the shootout?
Yeah.
The guy's sick.
Yeah.
Now, this is another thing. Do you like the Noah Dobson trade? No, because this was a trade. Like, do you think they should have thrown in Ryan Pollock instead of him, or do you think?
No, I think he was requesting a lot of money, right? So
he requested $13 million.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's really worth $13 million. Not having the season he did last year.
He had 21 points,
but the
He had
season
minus 25.
before, he had how many points?
He had like 71.
Yeah, that's a big difference, right?
But when
you're asking for more money on a down season, you only had 20 points.
If I was Starch, I would be like, either we're putting you on a 1-year prove it deal, or we're trading your ass.
Yeah,
and I think that was the right move.
Yeah, they traded him.
And listen, the Islanders are going to be a team that,
and these GMs know. We don't see a lot what's in the locker room. We don't see a lot what goes on in the locker room as fans, right? We don't know what goes on behind the scenes. These guys know. They know if the guy's going to be productive, or maybe he just didn't want to play for the Islanders.
I feel like, well, he obviously got married this summer. Yeah, if you didn't know that, he invited every single Islander player.
Yeah, they're all friends. He grew up with the team, right? They're all friends. They're all teammates, and listen, the name of the game for these guys is to make as much money as when they can, because they only play till, average career is probably 30 to 36.
37.
Yeah. Right. And if you don't make the money while you can make the money, you want to make enough money to retire so you don't have to do anything afterwards. And a lot of these guys don't make the money. And the question is, well, I played till I'm 36 in the NHL. I traveled all over the world. I'm away from my family a lot. And then now I have to reinvent myself and having a job. So if they could get a couple extra $1 million on each contract, they want to take it. Especially you never know if you're going to get hurt or this and that.
Oh, wait, never mind. Keep going.
No, I mean, I just think that when you have a chance to earn money and you play in a sport that you love, if someone is willing to pay for it, then you take it. Now, there are certain states like Marchand, right? He goes down to Florida.
Yeah.
Right?
Biggest steal of a trade, by the way, I think I've ever seen. Boston needs to fire Don Sweeney as soon as possible. That guy has had the worst offseason I've ever seen out of a GM. The guy signed Nikia Zadorov. The guy, probably one of the most unproductive defensemen, probably one of the worst contracts.
Well,
They're paying the guy $5 million just to give up the puck and make stupid plays.
And I heard this. I'm just thinking about it now, but I heard this tidbit last night. When Kyle Okposo, he won the Stanley Cup this year down in Florida
2 years ago.
2 years ago, he won it when he was in Florida.
He played. He scored a point.
Buffalo Sabres had to pay him a bonus because in his contract he got a bonus if he won a Stanley Cup, but it didn't say for which team. So he won the Stanley Cup for Florida, and the Sabres had to pay him a Stanley Cup bonus.
Sabres haven't touched the playoffs.
Yeah, I know. Then they had to pay a Stanley Cup bonus to Okposo.
That is terrible.
Yeah.
Like, Do you think there were a worse franchise than the Jets? Because this is a debate right now.
Yeah, they haven't made the playoffs in how many years?
14 years.
Yeah,
The Jets 13.
yeah.
This one more question about the Islanders, and then we'll talk about the Mets for a little bit, and then wrap this thing up probably. Patrick Waugh. Do you think he should have been? Do you think they should have? Do you think it was Darcy's right move to keep Waugh?
I think you give him one more year.
But my question is, do you worry about the power play and penalty kill? By the way, their special teams, one of the worst last year. They were 31st in power play, 32nd in penalty kill, and getting new assistant coaches that can help out.
Well, do you think injuries hurt them more than anything?
No.
You don't think Barzal was out for 20 games?
Yeah, that helps your power play.
Well,
but I'm saying like,
and Polak was out, right?
Well, those guys have always been hurt.
I know, but and
you're paying them $8 million.
Well, like, I know that, but the years that they were healthy, they had good penalty kills, right? Yeah. And I mean, and the other thing too, you take out Clutterbuck was one of the key.
Your boy.
Yeah, he was one of the key people on the penalty kill, right? Him and Cizikas, they ran it. They would score shorthanded goals. They would do that. They don't have guys like that. I mean, I know Casey's still playing, but like,
do you think they waited too long to fire Lou? Or do you think it was like?
Nah, I don't think it really mattered, to be honest with you. I just think that
he was not gonna do what Darsh did, though.
No, but I mean, yeah.
I like the guy Cal Ritchie that they got in the Brock Nelson. This guy that they got is a stud.
Yeah.
He's been playing really good. He's going to actually make the roster. I think he's going to take Pajot's spot. And they're going to move Pajot either around or trade him at the deadline if they're not doing good at all.
Yeah, well, let's see how they start.
Okay, let's get into how bad the Mets are this segment.
No excuse for not making the playoffs. There's just none. The pitching was horrible. They traded for all these pitchers at the end of the year.
Did terrible.
Cedric
Mullins, their center fielder. Mullins.
They're bringing up guys in the minors to pitch. And you couldn't get Lindor, Alonso, and Soto to hit in the same game. That's the problem.
But my question is,
those guys all had good seasons with hitting and averages, but they never all hit together. Right? So
you need a team that, like, this was another thing I was going to talk about. Your bullpen had two good arms, the Mets. What's the score of the Reds? Oh, jeez.
10-2. And
that's a team that took our wild card spot.
Yeah.
That just tells you how bad we are. Like, we were at June 11th, we were 24 games above 500. 45 and 21, I believe. They had the most up and down year. They had 45 and 21, which is really good. Then they lost 14 of their 16. Then they won 12 of their next 14. Then they lost 12 of their next 14. Then they had like an 8-game winning streak. No, they won like a 4-game winning streak. Then they lost 8 straight games. Like, it was the biggest like up and down year you could have had.
Yeah.
And like, when you have that, it just kills your locker room, and there was no energy in the dugout.
There was no consistency.
And I like the guy McClain that they got, and like all that stuff in the minors, but you can't do that. You built a team, and you just, at the end of the year, they had 2 starting pitchers that started on the roster.
Yeah.
And that just, injuries, I think David Stearns has to look at this now and be like, I need to get guys that don't get hurt. Constantly. They had the most injuries in all baseball.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Or maybe they fire their training staff because they're obviously not doing
They need
a
to
good
fire
job.
their hitting coach, Chad, because he really just stinks at doing his job.
Yeah.
They're hitting balls right to the outfielders. They're making great contact. They just have to put it in play.
Yeah.
And that's their problem. They almost got no hit like 5 times this year, going in the 9th inning. And when you don't have a team, Alonso now and Diaz are going to opt out. Do you give them both a high-paid contract, though, and keep those guys and run it back and then run back the team? Or do you rebuild your entire team and start it all over.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do, and I'm sure that Cohen has a big say in it. So
He tweeted it out.
let's see what he decides to do.
We'll get you the updates from the offseason on them. Really just it's just a collapse, man.
Yeah.
Is this worse than 2007 and 2025 is my question.
No, they had high expectations this year, and they spent a lot of money on their team. For them not to make the playoffs with this salary is kind of a joke.
And listen to this. 2 teams in MLB history have spent $300 million or more, and both those teams that missed the playoffs were the 2023 New York Mets and the 2025 New York Mets. So that just tells you that Steve Cohen needs to be more efficient with David Stearns and actually talk it out more, because you can't pay a team that misses the playoffs $300 million.
No, and it's not fair because they raised all the ticket prices this year and did all the stuff, and they got
They had the biggest attendance in the league.
Yeah, the fans were going to the games, and then now for them, it's like a kick in the face.
They have to fix the pitch. The pitching staff is just a joke.
Yeah, but they're not hitting either.
You got to add another guy. You got to add another guy in the lineup. You have to add a center field. You need a center fielder and a left field. I think you move Nimmo. This is something I was talking about. I think you move Nimmo into center field.
Their last 3 games against the Marlins, they scored in the 3 games. They scored a total of, they had a 5-0 win, and then they had a 6-2 loss and a 4-0 loss. Right, so they scored 7 runs in that, and then
how much did they get? They lost 10-7 that series.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess
a team that
they did score. They did score a run against the Cubs, and then they didn't. And then they had one game where they had 12 runs against the Nationals before that. But, arguably when you see them,
the Nationals killed them. Jacob Young, who had 2 incredible catches, it just kills your team when you lose to bad teams. And then you had Alonso, who had probably the best year of his career. Now he wants to leave probably, because when you have that good of a year and you miss the playoffs because of it, you're just like, I need to get out of this organization as soon as possible.
He's not. All right, let's wrap it up.
Yep, getting late. Thank you guys very much for watching this episode of DomsPod. Like always, my friends, stay legendary. Thank you very much for joining us.
It was a lot of fun.
Sorry for making you stay up so late.
Yeah,
I know you're exhausted.
Shot.
Thank you guys so much for watching episode 23 of DomsPod. Like always, my friends, stay legendary.
Okay. All right. You have to go.